This is section 30 from the De Bello Gallico, book 4 by Julius Caesar. And as is common, we're starting out with an ablative absolute, quibus rebus cognitis. And so, with these affairs known or learned, the chieftains of Britain, notice not the British chieftains, right? This is the noun of Britain, who, after the battle, to Caesar had come. So, who had come to Caesar after the battle, having spoken among themselves, when or after some consideration, maybe since here, this clause is clearly causal. So, when or since they, and these are the chieftains, uh, understood that the equites and the navis and the fermentum, that the cavalry and the ships and the grain were lacking to the Romans. So when or since they understood that the Romans lacked these things, and this is dative here with this desum compound verb, and they learned about or discovered maybe, the paucity, the fewness, the small number of soldiers from the scantiness of the camp. So the small size of the camp. And remember, castra is always plural. So even though we're seeing castrorum, the genitive plural, it's still just the one camp. If Caesar ever means more than one camp, then he'll qualify it with an adjective like two camps or a few camps or many camps. And speaking of camp, we have the quais. So the camp which. Now this hoc is ablative. I'm going to put a line over it here, a macron, and it corresponds with quod here. So the camp, which was even more narrower by the fact that, so these two work together by the situation which, or really what sounds better is by the fact that Caesar had transported his legions without impediments, without all the baggage. Well, they declared, so literally led, right? But we know that this is a cognitive element. So they declared that it is an easy thing to do with a rebellion having been made to prohibit our men, and then prohibeo, to prohibit, takes an ablative here and often called an ablative of separation. So it's an easy thing to do to prohibit our men, nostros, from their grain and their komeatu, their provisions. And they declared that it is an easy thing to do, to lead forth the situation into the winter, so to prolong the affair into the winter, because with these men conquered or maybe overwhelmed and cut off, or rather, out means or, so with these overwhelmed or cut off from a return, and then let's go pick up your head verb here. They trusted, or they were hoping, that no one afterwards, causa belli inferendi, so for the sake of bringing war upon them, would cross into Britain. So in short, the Brits decide, if we take a stand now, then it'll send a message, and they were trusting or hoping that no one afterwards would cross, so this is transitorum esse, the indirect statement, into Britain for the sake of bringing war, waging war. And so, with a conspiracy or a plot having been made, again, little by little, And we have two infinitives here, discedera and deducera. So here is your verb that takes the infinitives. They began to depart from their camp little by little and to lead their men out secretly from their fields.